Welcome to another day of adventures with Wes and Jeff, and I'm on park number 42. It's Big Bend National Park in the state of Texas. Welcome to another day of adventures with Wes and Jeff, and I am in the most southern part of Texas at Big Bend National Park. And this is a very remote part of Texas. It's along the Big Bend. It's named after the Big Bend in the Rio Grande River. So I spent the night here at the Rio Grande Village Campground, and they lost power this morning, so no coffee for Wes. They just, if anybody knows me, I have to have my coffee at least one in the morning, but not this morning because I've talked to a lot of other park visitors and some of the staff here, and the power goes out quite often, so that's going to be a challenge today. But I'm going to capture several of the little trails here, the scenic drive, the Ross Maxwell Scenic Drive, which is nice. Hike into the Rio Grande Canyon there at St. Helena, and do several little hikes today and get in lots of pictures. This is one of the 3 visitor centers that they have here in the park. It's a small one. It's at the Rio Grande Village, and so I'm going to start off with doing the nature trail, which is it's a short one. It's just 0.75, and it goes down to the Rio Grande. The hot springs area, that area got kind of washed out recently, so unfortunately some of it is closed, but we're right up against Mexico. You can go into the Boquillas Canyon trail. I'm going to do that one and do a little hike there. It's only 1.4, and you can move over into Mexico. I did not bring my passport with me, but I won't be going over into Mexico today, but it's just a hop, skip, and a jump literally over into Mexico. Here at Big Bend National Park, I am at the Rio Grande Village Nature Trail. It's just 0.75, and we're going to do that this morning for starters. The Rio Grande Village Nature Trail overlook, and this is the Rio Grande River that separates, United States from Mexico, and the campground is located right next to it where I stayed last night. There's the campground there right along the river, and it snakes along here, and it makes a bend along here, and that is into Mexico on the right hand side of the river. And that's a community over there, of Boquillas, Mexico. First time seeing the Rio Grande. It doesn't seem as grand as I thought it would be, but nonetheless, it's a nice meandering river through the park here at Big Bend National Park. At the Chisos Canyon Trail, and I'm gonna do this one. It goes up this hill into the canyon. These folks that just went up. There's a horse up there. I'm gonna check out that guy, talk to him, and it goes into the canyon. It's only 1.4 miles round trip, but it climbs a series of steps to the overlook of the Rio Grande River. Then it descends to the river floodplain. There it dissolves into a collection of smaller footpaths until the beach ends and the river meets the canyon walls. This beautiful canyon has drawn people to it for thousands of years, and bedrock along the river look for mortar holes where nomadic tribes ground their seeds and roots and beans. This method of food preparation created deep circular pits over the generations of use. On the Boquillas Canyon Trail, this is about as far as you can go. In fact, this is the very end of it where it meets the river, then hits the canyon walls. But it is a nice little hike, not too treacherous, but beautiful views of the canyon walls as you hike back here. And that's the Rio Grande. That's Mexico over there on that side of the bank. And these walls go straight up. This rock is treacherous. But the trail is not too bad, and it's very nice, especially to do during the morning hours when it's a little cooler and you got some shade, just like I just got some shade there. Just really peaceful and pretty. Just a few people on the trail. This park only gets about 380,000 visitors a year. So it's not as popular. This is a really popular time of year because of it's nice temperature. So it's like 80 degrees today. Doesn't get too warm. This Boquillas Canyon Trail is something else. Once you get to the back along the Rio Grande River, the cliffs just go straight up. It's really cool. Little hike in the desert here, and this pretty bush that has purple flowers. You have to really watch where you step because everything wants to poke you. Everything wants to get you. But I really like that purple one. It's pretty. There's the Chisos Mountains in the background there. Lots of cactus, different types of cactus, and like I said, everything wants to poke you. You got to be very, very careful. And I get a picture of this one over here, so you can see there's colors in that. That's pretty cool. Desert landscape for sure. I'm at one of the 4 visitor centers here at Big Bend National Park in the southern part of Texas. This is the Panther Junction Visitor Center, which is kind of nice. It's got some exhibit, and of course you can stamp your book here, and it talks about the ancient fossils that they have found in this area from 84 to 65 million years ago. So they have a little fossil exhibit, and then they have a bookstore. Information from the rangers, as well as this was Texas and the history of making this a national park. Not a lot of visitors come to this park, but it's kind of in a remote section. This talks about the little pack rat of the desert. This one talks about the Rio Grande River and the different animals that you can see, and birds. A lot of birds, migratory birds that make their way from Central America all the way up to North America and all the way into Canada. So this is their migratory path. It's a really large park. It spans a long distance. Everything in Texas is big, right? Yep, that's what I'm talking about. And this right here is Panther Junction, and those are the mountains just above at the Chisos Mountains. And there's a bone they found. Look at that bone. Big bone. Most prettiest places in Big Bend National Park is the Chisos Mountains. If you come up here, there's a campground. It's located right there in the mountains. Beautiful. They have bears here. It's a different terrain than the Chihuahuan Desert down below on the southeast section that I just came from. But up here, it's much cooler, like at least 10 to 15 degrees cooler. And it's really pretty because it's surrounded by these huge rocks, and they're colorful, and I didn't flip the camera. They're colorful, and they just make a nice little spot up here in the mountains. They've got a lodge up here, they've got the campgrounds, and they have a visitor center. Up in the Chisos Mountains, and I'm gonna take the little Chisos Window View Trail. It's only 0.3 from the visitor center. It's a nice little trail. Let's see what I can find. Big Bend National Park, and the window is right there behind me. It's a popular spot to hike out to and take a look through the window out into the desert. But the animals here have a hard time finding water, so they have to travel a long way to get to a water source. And animals like the javelina, I've seen like 3 of them so far. Those are those pig-like creatures, really cute, but they can be mean, so you have to watch your stuff. But yeah, they have to travel long distances just to find water pools, and especially certain times of year. But the water rushes down out of these mountains down into the Chihuahuan Desert, which is just right through that little window right there, and you can see down into the desert. This is definitely a unique spot. I would definitely try and visit here if you do come to Big Bend National Park. Chisos Mountain Visitor Center. The ranger is very helpful here, but that's a mountain lion behind me, and it talks about the mountain lion is, which they call a cougar here, which is interchangeable, but he's staring right into me. And I got to see a road runner, but let me just walk you around the quick little visit. So there's the information area and a little bitty bookstore area, but it talks about the cougars and cats. And to be aware of them because they are in this area. It's mountainous in the middle of a desert. And then there's also the black bear. Black bear we've seen close up at several of the parks, but this became a park back in 1944. Big Bend just celebrated their 75th not too long ago. And different things about the cats. This is all about the mountain lion and how big he gets in this area because he has lots of food. Also snakes and lots of cactus, and there's some trees, but that's the view outside as you walk around the visitor center. It's really well done. It's very small, but it's very nice. So if you get a chance, stop into the visitor center. There's the falcon. They're talking about a falcon. So this is from Old First. Scenic Drive. It's 30 miles. It terminates at Saint Elena Canyon, which is my destination, but I'm also going to stop at several little vistas and different points of interest along the way. Here along the Scenic Drive, the Ross Maxwell Scenic Drive here at Big Bend, is one of the pullouts where you can learn about Goat Mountain. That is Goat Mountain on the left there. So they're saying some 29 million years ago, the volcanoes dominated this region of Big Bend National Park. Many of the formations along the Ross Maxwell Scenic Drive, including this Goat Mountain in front of you, originated in the volcanic past. So this is salina-rich lava that, and there's older volcanic rock at the base of this, and pretty interesting how the different shades and the different volcanic deposits that were left over the years from the different volcanoes that happened in this region. And then there's a neat little ridge line. You look where the just a little ridge that goes along, that's created a ridge there right along this scenic drive. This area, the scenic drive, this is Castolo Peak and Sierra Castolo, and it really looks almost moonscapey because you've got whites mixed in with the reds, which mixed in with the darker color, and you just drive right through this area along the scenic drive. And it's just really a neat place to check out. The Tufts Canyon is right around the corner. That's a cool little hike as well. But the layers are visible on this particular rock, this peak. The layers are visible, revealing millions of years of volcanic events. Stacked in this tower are several lava flows and volcanic tuffs, we call them tuffs, which is ash deposits, with layers of gravel and clay from periods of erosion between eruptions. And you'll see piles of the ash along the way. But the very, very top part of this is lava, and then you have the tuff, and then you have the ash at the base. I'm at the Santa Elena Canyon overlook. It's right there. You often see rafters going rafting through the canyon, which is kind of a popular thing to do here at Big Bend National Park. I'm just gonna see the canyon. But except for flood season, the quiet waters below do not seem powerful enough to have carved Santa Elena Canyon. Hike the short trail to the river, which I'm gonna take you on, and look closely at the water. It's cloudy and it has sand and silt in it that actually cuts through that canyon just like sandpaper. And the swift waters just churns along there and just cuts a deeper spot into the canyon, because that is limestone. It's a lot softer of a mineral in order to cut through. I'm at the most popular hike in Big Bend National Park, and that is the Santa Elena Trail. And this is a 1.6 mile round trip. And it starts there, it goes into those, right there into that canyon. And the trail enters between the walls of spectacular Santa Elena Canyon and ends where the cliffs meet the Rio Grande River. The walls of this canyon rise over 1,500 feet from the banks of the Rio Grande River, making this one of the most dramatic and popular places to view the river. The sheer face of this canyon was formed by the Terlingua Fault, which is mostly covered in gravel, but calcite crystals fill in cracks formed by this fault and can be seen along the trail. So let's take the trail and take a look at what we can see at this wonderful trail. Hiking down to the river on the Santa Elena Trail. It's dramatic walls, those 1,500 feet tall walls. And the river is moving. The Rio Grande River. Look at that. It's going to the Gulf of Mexico. So hiking along the Santa Elena Trail, the deal is you gotta find a spot where it's shallow enough to cross. So you have to go a little ways north along this walk. So you go along this wash, and it's sometimes during the year, even it changes by the week. The water rushes through here and engulfs this area. So this is the driest spot from the north. So you go up this steep trail in order to access the canyon walls. Really easier said than being done. This is a very steep part of the trail in order to access it, but you have to go across that. Otherwise, you're wading across the Rio Grande River, which is not so cool. But yeah, it's pretty steep. See those little people down there? Yeah, they were really smart, and they watched to see if I fell before they started their journey. But I didn't fall, and I'm gonna make it just a little bit further in order to get back over. But this is gonna be a fun one going down here, and it's extremely steep to get. They're gonna be smart again, and they're gonna watch to see if these people fall. Then they're gonna make their determination if they're gonna continue the trail. Halfway through the Santa Elena Trail, and there's the cut. I'm gonna go as far as they let me go here and take in the beauty of the Rio Grande. It looks a little dirty, and the reason why it's dirty is because it has silt in it. It has a lot of silt from these rocks that have washed down into the waters, and it's flowing its way to the Gulf of Mexico. I'm at the end of the Santa Elena Trail here at the Rio Grande River. That is Mexico on that side. This is the United States and Texas on this side at Big Bend National Park. And I gotta touch the wall, which is as far as you can go. So I'm gonna do that and show you the view. So this is interesting because this is the end of the trail, but the way that the limestone is stacked, it makes it look like the river is going uphill from my viewpoint. There you go, you can see. Makes it look like, oh, it's going downhill sharply, but it's pretty much level, like it has always been. But it's just that illusion that limestone is giving you when you look at it from this angle and with the shape of it. So that's the end of the canyon here. And I'm the only one here, yay. I love that one. I'm the only one at these national parks at these spots. Oh, I want to go out around the corner. I want to be able to see, but okay. I'm gonna touch the wall as far as I could go. And this limestone is stacked up here in this canyon. Some kids are yelling off in the distance, but this is so cool. And if you come to Big Bend and you do nothing else, you have to take the Ross Maxwell Scenic Drive all the way back until it terminates at the St. Helena, Canyon hike. And guess what? I'm gonna get muddy boots by doing this, but I want to get that shot. That is so cool. The canyon walls. Oh, up there on the top 10 of my list of short hikes that you can take at national parks that you will remember for a lifetime. So, whatever you're doing today, get out and enjoy the great outdoors and do something that makes you smile. This certainly did make me smile today. I had a good time here at Big Bend National Park.